If begins being let, it's gonna be let.
Ah, your hands are so cold.
So we're going to see Twilight next, right? So I started filming myself doing ollie in slow motion, thinking that I'm doing a great job, but now I'm looking at the footage. I don't know, I think it looks slightly better than my last session, but yeah, I think it just takes time and I'm okay with that to get better at my ollies. Slow motion looks quite funny sometimes, especially when I'm, actually not landing it and then whipping my arms around. Anyway, I think I filmed the slow motion for like maybe 5 minutes and then switched back to filming in normal frame rate and just continued practicing my ollies. I did some ollies and did some ollie to caveman, and in this session my goal was to kind of try to do ollie to caveman while rolling. So I think I was just trying to get ready for that. So I started trying the trick like while rolling. The board just keeps shooting outward. I guess when you're rolling, your trajectory is going forward, and so if you don't catch your board fast enough, your board just keeps going and it flies away from you. So that was a challenge. I started trying shove it. It felt really unnatural. I don't think I've ever landed a shove it while rolling. I probably have landed a shove it while holding onto something. It was quite scary to try and land one.
Uh-oh.
After trying shove it for a while, I gave up and went back to practicing my ollie to caveman. Here's me hopping after I caught my board. It could be its own trick somehow, I don't know. Anyway, I came across this video talking about how to bone your ollies, and he had talked about trying to land on your nose when you try to do an ollie. That way it can help you kind of try to get a bone motion when you're in the air, and it also helps you practice nose stall or grind and things like that. So I gave that a try. Obviously I couldn't land on my nose because I just never really tried to land on my nose ever. So for that reason I was trying to like hop up and then land on my nose just to get used to that motion. Then I tried shove it again, no luck. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try something else now, and I'm gonna start doing manuals. Yeah, manuals are fun. It's all about finding that balance. It's kind of like riding a bicycle. I think at some point in this session, I did a really long, well, in my own head, it felt like a really long manual, but maybe it wasn't really that long at all. I also came across videos that talked about how manuals can be the fundamentals of skateboarding, and being good at it is going to support you with learning other tricks. And it's also not that kind of like tiring trick to practice, you know, no hopping required. So you're not sweating as much as trying to practice ollies again and again. And I think here is where I did the longest manual that happened in my own head. So after a while, I went back to practicing my ollies again, and also the ollie to caveman or caveman to ollie trick. Yeah, I think in this session I kinda got a handle of how to do this ollie to caveman while rolling. Very slowly though, like it's definitely not the best, but it's kinda there. Anyway, that's my first skate session of this month, and I will talk to you in the next skate session.
What part am I most excited for? The beacons are lit. The beacons of Minas Tirith are lit. The beacons being lit is going to be lit. It's going to be the best part.
What I'm looking for right now is just Aragorn just turning back and say for Frodo, and everyone's going at it. This is what I'm waiting for. Herman.
I don't know.
No, you know, we're gonna have to say it.
Oh, you know what? When Aragorn is going to see the pirates, the ghost pirates.
Oh, yeah.
I think at the very end when Frodo says no and he walks away with the ring, and then Gollum like attacks him and bites his finger off.
Pretty cool.
What can you see on the horizon? Why do the white gulls call?
I think anybody should go see their favorite movie in like this medium. Like it's such a awesome, genuine way to experience it, and so many talented people in that room making the music.
So we're going to see Twilight next, right? Your hands are so cold. No, okay, no, I can't do this. No, I can't do this. No.
I really appreciate the fact that there are indoor skate parks around me, just because, you know, when it's the winter, you really have nowhere to go skate, and having that luxury, it's like a godsend. Oh, and I'm also going to the CJ skate park sometime soon for the first time. I've never been, so that's exciting. So for skate session number 2, I actually started, I didn't film this part, but I actually started practicing my frontside kick turns on the banks, and also tried axle stall dropping on the banks as well. But yeah, it was nice to try axle stall for the first time. I also gave it a try on the quarter pipe with coping and stuff. But it was really scary. Like, I could not even lock my tracks on it. I was just like, oh man, I'm gonna fall, I'm gonna eat shit, and I'm gonna die. Anyway, being a drama queen, but I did try axel stall on the bank. Memorizing a video I watched talking about how axel stall shouldn't feel like you're rotating your body. You had to just like kind of feel like you're stepping down the stairs. So kind of mastered that motion a little bit while I tried it on the bank. So at one point, luckily, no one was at the mini, and so I was able to like spend some time to just try my frontside kick turns on the mini. So I had the mini basically to myself for probably like 10 minutes, and I was able to do the frontside kick turns and going back and forth, pumping it and then frontside kick turn. That felt quite familiar, to be honest. Like the first time when I started learning skateboarding, obviously I learned how to backside kick turn. Back then, when I was learning how to do backside kick turns, I always had thought that I would never ever be able to do a frontside kick turn because it just seemed like something so impossible to do. But yeah, that's way past me now. It's really not that scary now, and I'm able to pass beyond the fear I had. After some repetitive frontside kick turns practice, I attempted dropping in and do a backside kick turn after on the other side of the mini, but I guess I wasn't in the right headspace to land one this time. I guess I was just scared to fall or die. Being a drama queen again. Anyway, I spent quite a lot of time on the mini that day, so eventually I kind of got tired a little bit of just pumping the mini, so I moved away to the other area of the park, and I was like, you know what, I really want to try something new today. So that's when I saw this, what do you call this, a grind box, a manual pad, I don't know, like so anyway, I thought, I'm gonna try no stall on it. I've never done it before, so I'll give that a try. So while I was trying these slappy no stalls, I also was conveniently practicing my frontside kick turns, like especially when I'm like going back to repeat my nose stall. Also, while I was trying this nose stall, I kind of realized that because you had to really control your tail and your nose, I kind of realized that this is something stems from practicing, your monster walk, to have that balance between your nose and your tail. It's great that I practice my monster walk once in a while. So obviously you can see I did many tries and not all of them were successful, but some of them are pretty good, I want to say, like kind of just trial and error, and I eventually got some and lost some. I think this nose stall, it's like all about timing and balance on your nose and tail. So yeah, I wish I have a curb in my parking lot to continue practicing that, but yeah, I can't wait for summer to come. And towards the end of the session, I was so tired, so I did a couple of ollies. Looks pretty good. These ollies actually look pretty good from a low filming angle. Anyway, that's my most favorite skate session of this month. Thank you for watching. I will talk to you in the skate session number 3.
So get ready with me to go skate. Oof.
Welcome to my last skate session of the month. I was gonna say my skate session number 3 of the month, but I actually realized I probably shouldn't label my skate sessions in numbers, because I was editing my previous session. I heard myself saying skate session number 2, but for some reason all I can think of is a doo-doo. My brain just automatically relates that to a toilet business or something funny. Or maybe I'll just give my skate session names as opposed to numbers. I actually just watched Wild Robot the other day and was bawling. It's a really emotional movie. What I learned from the movie is that maybe you shouldn't be labeling in numbers and just give them names. So maybe I'll give my skate session names, who knows. Anyway, back to talking about skateboarding. So in this session, I felt a bit of increasing my confidence with these frontside kick turns. I also wanted to, increase my confidence with my ollies, and I had learned with all the videos that I watch on social media is that hippie jumps are really tied into, ollies. So for that reason, I thought in this session I would just practice a lot of hippie jumps, because I don't feel like I practice hippie jumps frequently enough. And also just to get my ollies higher than what I can. And I think all of that ties into my hippie jumps and how high I can jump. So like I mentioned in the last skate session, that I watched a video about boning your ollies. The video suggests to land on your nose after you do an ollie, so I kind of focused on getting used to that motion. I also started practicing my ollie to caveman. Really wanted to get better at it while rolling. With practicing this again and again, I get these really horrible grip tape fingers. Like, I still use like really old phone, like iPhones that unlock with fingerprints. So every time when I practice ollie to caveman, grabbing onto my skateboard again and again, the grip tape like rubs off my fingerprint for some reason, and after that session I'm unable to unlock my phone with my fingerprints. I'd have to wait for like a day or 2 for my fingerprints to work. And at one point I practiced my monster walk. Also, again, it's just to practice and get better at it. I know it's the fundamentals of skateboarding, and plus I kind of realized in my last skate session that I was able to do slappy nose stall was probably because of my practice in monster walks. And so I thought, given that a bit of more practice every session just to get better at it, maybe will help me with learning other tricks. And I tried a bunch of shove it in this session as well. Didn't really land one. In my most recent session, I think I landed one, almost landed one, but I didn't. I posted a little short video of me almost landing a shove it, and I was so happy about it. I did ask people for advice. This one person said, I just started landing it consistently and it really helped to jump more. and focus on the feeling like I am passing the board from foot to foot and not flinging it and praying I land. I think in my head I know shove it is more about the control of your board rather than just hoping it lands under your feet. Like, I think I need to learn how to control my board a lot more for me to actually land one. And another tip I got from someone saying that I should commit to the rotation first and then get the timing to land on it. Get the feel for the motion and then think about landing it. So, which I absolutely agree, I need to practice the rotation for me to actually land one properly. Anyway, I've gotten a lot of good recommendations on how to land a shove it properly, so I will work on that and keep you guys posted. I, at some point, also practiced my frontside kick turns, and I just kind of kept on going in circles. That was a really stupid idea because I got really dizzy from it. So I filmed myself doing ollies in slow motion again. I'm thinking that I would analyze my movement afterwards. This time when I filmed slow motion, I did not only do ollies, and I kind of did other tricks too. I thought, if I'm filming myself trying to analyze my movement and get better at learning these tricks, I might as well film other tricks in slow motion. I think my frontside kick turns in slow motion look pretty badass. Although my monster walk in slow motion looks really weird. I look like a Godzilla-sized Patrick Star, ready to haunt your dreams. Jokes aside, I wrote a bit of switch in this session. Every time when I try writing switch, it really just feels like, you're learning skateboarding all over again. And so it felt really unnatural. But I think eventually I'll get good at it and it will help me with learning other tricks. So I believe it's important to learn writing switch. And I will incorporate that with all of my sessions. I absolutely understand the fundamentals of learning skateboarding, so obviously I practiced manuals with the mindset of trying to get better at these basic tricks just so that I'm paving a great foundation for learning more tricks in the future. So I kept on practicing ollie to caveman and followed with frontside kick turns. And this way I'm not repetitively practicing only one thing, which felt good and felt more fun. As of now, I can only do this rolling slowly, not fast. So I'm just easing to it. Maybe one day I can do an ollie to caveman, rolling pretty fast, or rolling down a stair or a step or something like that. I practiced the nose stall motion, just jumping up and land on my nose. I thought holding the wall over there would help me land a shove it. That was a bad idea. That didn't help, and my hands got really dirty. And it also made it seem a lot more scary. Anyway, that is my last skate session of January. and I ended this session with a bit more manuals and pushing switch. I will talk to you in the next vlog. Bye.